it's Catherine from Jayne Catherine on Books, and we're still in the month of March, and we're here with March Mystery Madness. So yes, there's a whole load of madness going on around the whole world, isn't there? And sorry I've been missing in action for just over a week, but you know, I've had loads of things to get sorted, to get ready here in the UK because of the virus and all that stuff. Now, I'm going to say a few words about that, and then I'm going to get on to my usual bright and breezy self to show you the books. And you know, we're all in the same boat here. We've all got our own stories. We're all struggling in one way or another. And I want this to be, you know, a bit of a, how can we say, I always think that when we go on to watch YouTubers and BookTube, it's a way of relaxing, it's a way of forgetting all our troubles and everything that's going on. And hopefully, you know, when you join me for these get-togethers, it's a bit of company. And I don't want that to be any different. I think that we all still need that escapism. But please, I don't want you to think I'm sit here with my makeup and that, you know, my bright and breezy self, that really that's what I'm feeling, because I'm not at all, not at all. First time makeup's been on. First time since all this mess hit the UK. Yeah, David and I are on lockdown. So although we're not in the over 70 age group that the British Prime Minister is telling us to stay in our homes and gardens and not have contact with anyone, we are both in at-risk groups, and therefore we've been advised by medical staff to self-isolate, the same as those that are over 70. And it's you must all feel like this. Some days you know, I'm sort of getting into the routine now of I still take Nelson out and then come back, we sort of wash his paws and then do all my antibacterial sterilising of the kitchen and all that malarkey. So, you know, getting into a bit of a routine. We've got no choice, have we? We've got no choice. But, you know, this madness in the UK over food is doing my head in. It is driving me crazy. And it's all well and good telling the elderly and the vulnerable to stay at home and not see anybody and don't go out. You can't get the food because of the few mindless minorities that are stockpiling. And I know we all want to stockpile, you know, for our family and want to do right by our family, but, you know, come on guys. I know we've had one online delivery and we now can't get one for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks. And when you do get it, there's no essentials on the list that you can have. So we had an order the other day and half of it was missing. Anyway, rant over. There's no need for it to be like that. But, you know, my week's been taken up sorting out prescriptions online, sorting out the chemist, you know, checking that the rest of the family are okay. And my dad and my sister are in London, so they're getting it, you know, they're about 2 weeks ahead of us and getting it worse. So, you know, my dad's all set up on Skype now. Thrilled to bits he is with being on Skype. You know, he's in his 80s and you know, it must feel amazing, the technology that they're now seeing from when he was a lad. So we can Skype him because we're not all close to each other. We have our family, as you know, all our boys are not anywhere near us, and yeah, it's going to be tough, and it's going to be tough for a lot of people. But what I'm going to try and do is give you as much content as I can. I mean, we're not going anywhere, am I? Not going anywhere. I'm not going to run out of books. And coming soon, there's a bit of a haul. I have been a naughty girl. You know, when you're a bit fed up and think you're not going to be able to get out in the the next few months, even though I haven't got what shall I say? I have got plenty of books for the next few months, but yeah, I've had a little bit of a buy, shall we say, a bit of a haul that I'll be bringing soon. And I haven't gone too mad actually, but yeah, it just cheers you up. So we will be continuing, hopefully, with March Mystery Madness, more content from myself over the next few weeks. Well, we haven't got next few weeks left, have we? We've got another month. So I'll give you an update where I am. I'll have to be honest, I haven't read much, because it's, you know, being a matter of putting things in place best that we can, you know. And if somebody out there, if it's you that's got 100 toilet rolls in a stash somewhere, do you think you could throw a couple our way? Thank you. Right, rant over. Welcome to all my subscribers, old and new. Thank you. I've had quite a few new subscribers for March Mystery Madness. We'll probably I'll probably lose a few more now. I'm thrilled to bits. I've got to 900. I'm getting nearer that 1,000. Yeah, after my little rant about people stealing toilet rolls, etc., then, you know, well, what can you say? Those that have been with me from the beginning, you know that I'm not anything but outspoken. I also want to say a big thank you, and I want people to take this very seriously, because I certainly feel that in the UK there's a lot of people not taking this seriously, and the need to, because the marvellous NHS, where would we be in the UK without the NHS? And it's times like this that you realise how special it is to have a service that's free at the point of delivery, that we don't pay for. Well, we do in our taxes, but we've got this service that, you know, in our darkest hour, which, you know, there's going to be a lot of those round the corner, we can rely on those people to be there. And myself and, you know, everybody that I trained with and know for the last 40 years, you know, I've worked there and been involved in all sorts of difficult circumstances, but none quite as difficult as they're facing now. So I think we should really give a big applause to our emergency services and support staff all around the world, not just in the UK, but everywhere. And please be kind to them. And I know we'll all be stressed, and sometimes when you feel ill, you panic and you lash out. But please remember, these people would rather be at home with their families. They don't necessarily want to be there putting their lives on the line. And, you know, I've already had some agencies being in touch with me, seeing if I'm available for work. Well, I think that's, with all the will in the world, that's not going to happen, is it? Because, you know, I'm here in the bungalow in my little vicinity, so I'm not so sure that pulling me out of retirement's going to be much help. But, you know, if I was fit and able and David was fit and able, we'd both be helping out with that. But still, the call-up papers may arrive any day. So if they do, I'll keep you updated. Right, we'll go to Very British Mysteries then. It sounds as if it's more like I'm either doing the Queen's speech or... or something, you know, some sort of video from the Second World War. So I thought, what else could I bring you to entice you to read some very British mysteries, but 5 that I enjoy, 5 series that I enjoy. Okay, number 1, and I'm not sure I've shown this before, apart from when I read it. This is Patricia Highsmith and a Miss Silver mystery, and look at that lovely cover. It's called The Grey Mask. This is a cosy mystery, and Miss Silver, she's one of these amateur sleuth types, as we tend to get, don't we, in our cosies. She used to be a governess, and she's eavesdropping, listening in on some conversation while she's out and hears about a gang. And what they've got this plan that they're going to carry out a vicious crime. So yes, we've got Miss Silver to the rescue. I enjoyed this. It's the first of quite a few in the series. I've not read any others yet, but yeah, Grey Mask, Patricia Highsmith. Next, where would we be if we didn't mention a series by Edward Marston? There we go. This is Bespoke Murder from the Homefront Detective series. Now, Edward Marsden, he writes historical fiction, and he has a series from all different eras. David, he's read some from all the series, whereas I've got two favourites. The Homefront Detective series, from which this is from, and the Bow Street Rivals, I was going to say Bow Street Runners, I remember that from history, Bow Street Rivals series, and that's another of my favourites. But he does, he does one of his very famous ones is on the trains. So what's that called, David? The train series?
Railway Detective.
That's it, the Railway Detective. So he's most well known for that. So have a look at him, because he does, if there's a particular era of British history that you're interested in, he may well have a series for you. But I love the Homefront Detective series, and I enjoy the characters. They're really good stories. He's a very good writer. But we've got Detective Inspector Harvey Marmion and his Sergeant Joe Heady, and I love them too. They're up there with Graham McFray. You know, Graham McFray from my favourite series from Oscar de Muriel. So I love these two equally. So go and check them out. Now then, where would we be without a good old Agatha? We can't mention British series, crime series, mystery series without our Agatha. This is the 125th edition of the Clocks. This is one of my favourites. This is set entirely in the UK, in Britain, because some of them you'll find, especially with the Poirot mysteries, and this is one of Poirot's, that he tends to do a lot of travelling. He's asked to go and deal with many crimes and mysteries to solve all over, especially in France and Belgium, all over the world really. But I thought I'd mention this one. It's very interesting, and it's all to do with clocks. Clocks is the key to solving this mystery. And he's his usual Poirot, arrogant Poirot self, and I love him. Next one. I've only read this one. This is book one, but I certainly want to continue with this series. The Riviera Express. And this is set down south in Devon and Cornwall, in the south of Britain. Seaside town, yes, it's in Devon, this particular one. And we've got Judy Dimont, who works for a newspaper. And this is by T.P. Fielden. Look at that lovely cover. Look at that Art Deco feel to it. Lovely. Art Deco is one of my favourite eras for style and architecture. I just love it. And Devon and Cornwall is called the English Riviera. Pity we don't quite get the same weather as the south of France, but hey, that's its name. And this is a really interesting murder that Miss Dimont throws herself into this mystery. She's a newspaper reporter, so hence she's got to have those sleuth-like qualities. And there's been a murder, oh yes, on a train. I can't quite do the accent, guys, because we're down south. We're down in the south of England, we're not in Scotland. But this is really enjoyable cosy mystery series, and another one certainly quintessentially British. And speaking of there's been a murder, oh yes, there's been a murder, there's been a murder. Where could we be, and how can I not finish a series of 5 on British mysteries at their best if we don't have a bit of our Hamish Macbeth, my favourite Scottish detective. Well, he's not classed as a detective really, because he's in the normal on the ground, feet on the ground police service. And this one's Death of a Gossip, one of the earlier ones. In fact, this might even be book 1. Oh, it is. I think it is. Don't quote me on that. I think it is. There's a long line, and as you know, if you've watched my channel for a while, that I'm a few down the line with that, about number 15. I think I'm reading Death of a Valentine at the moment. You can read them anyway, in any order, but I do think to get the best of the characters, because the thing I love about this, there's nothing special in plot, nothing new, nothing on the edge of your seat. It's cosy, it's sweet, and the best thing about these are the characterisations of all the Scottish villagers around where he pleases. Pleases? Is that the correct way of saying it? Pleases. Yeah. And I'd be a bit concerned if I was living there. There seem to be more than the average number of murders per capita than anywhere else in the world. But hey, unfortunately our lovely MC Beaton, who wrote this series, passed away recently. And so, you know, when I get to the end of this, there's going to be... I don't think there's going to be any more unless somebody takes over the mantle, you know, as they've done with other books. You know, how trying to think of a name now, who's taken over writing the Sherlock Holmes look-alike is, I can't think of a name at the minute.
King.
Well, there are some from King, which is the ones about Mary Holmes that I'm reading. I'm thinking of the one that's actually doing, I can't think of a name. Anyway, I'll try and look that up and put it down below for you. I feel that as I'm going on, I'm leaning more this way. It's because we're in a different position since we've, you know, we've swapped the lounge around. But I just feel the dog's here, and I feel like I'm going like that. Anyway, my lovelies, let me know how you're getting on with March Mystery Madness. It's been a bit of a disruptive one, and a big shout out to all my fellow hosts who've kept the mantle going the best they can. And go and check out the list below. Make sure you subscribe to them all. Check out the social media so that you've got a week, just over, have we got a week to still get your 5 books in. And yeah, I'll see you next video. Take care everybody, keep safe. Bye for now.